want you to stay with me to the very end of this video before you do anything else, because the tale you are going to hear about, Monica Lewinsky, is the genuine one that most people never take the time to comprehend. Not the cheap one you see in offensive headlines. You have undoubtedly heard her name used as a joke, a punchline, or a nasty title intended solely for attention-grabbing purposes. However, behind those words lies a human woman whose entire life was once made into a public spectacle. Don't click away, because the most essential part is toward the conclusion. Instead of laughing at her or repeating offensive statements, we're here to calm down and examine what actually happened to her. How she carried that weight, and how she made the decision to overcome it. Monica didn't choose to be thrust into the spotlight in the first place. She went from being a typical young woman with a job and aspirations to becoming one of the most talked about personalities in the world. Overnight, after one intimate aspect of her life was brought to light, even those who had never met her claimed to know everything about her. Based on other people's tales, they evaluated her worth, morals, choices, and physical appearance. Imagine waking up one day to discover that everyone is talking about you, pointing at you, and using your face as an example of humiliation. She experienced that. She had to deal with the hurt of that every day, while others smiled or gossiped. In actuality, a lot of the headlines about her are more about gaining clicks than they are about the facts. They know that people can't resist drama, so they utilize offensive language, crude suggestions, and offensive jokes. However, they fail to display the expense. Monica struggled with intense emotions of loneliness, dread, and shame. Her family was concerned about her. Her prospects of a calm life and regular employment were ruined. She has frequently discussed what it was like to be called names by people all around the world and to have her darkest moments captured in memories and on screens for all time. But something significant started to shift over time. She chose to speak rather than remain silent. She began speaking candidly about bullying, public humiliation, and how simple it is for the media and internet to ruin someone's life with words and images. She warned others about the consequences of treating human life like a joke through speeches, writing, and sharing her own traumatic experience. That required a great deal of bravery, because she is aware that some people still only see the previous scandal rather than the person in front of them. Nevertheless, she does it because she wants to ensure that no one else has to experience what she did. Today, Monica is not a representation of shame. Rather, she is a survivor of global humiliation who made the decision to use her experience as a lesson for everyone. She reminds us that there is a potentially crushed heart behind every name in a headline. She reminds us that understanding is far more difficult than passing judgment. As you watch this film through to the conclusion, I want you to ask yourself a straightforward question. Will you think of a cheap joke when you hear her name today? Or will you think of someone who overcame a great deal and yet had the courage to speak up? If this altered your perception of Monica Lewinsky and your perspective on the media, please take a moment to subscribe to this video, like it, share it with someone who is only familiar with the old story, and comment on the parts that most affected you. This will ensure that you never miss more straightforward, honest videos where we look past the headlines and see the real person behind the name.